So we're at the halfway point in a very crappy year, and despite 2020 sucking major balls, the video game Easter eggs that have been discovered this year have actually been pretty good. So today I wanted to make a quick recap of some of my favourite Easter eggs that were discovered this year. Of course, if you're a regular viewer of my channel, first of all, thank you. Secondly, you probably would have seen a lot of these Easter eggs in my video game Easter egg series, but there may be a couple of surprises along the way. Also, I won't be including any It, Titanic, or Back to the Future Easter eggs in this video, as it's not an episode of the video game Easter egg series. Oh, and if you do go on to enjoy this video, then a like is really appreciated. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. So to start things off, let's take a trip back to February and the release of the surprisingly good Zombie Army 4 Dead War. Going into Zombie Army 4, my expectations were low, and perhaps that's why I liked the game so much. I was almost surprised that I enjoyed it. Now don't get me wrong, Zombie Army 4 isn't going to be winning any Game of the Year awards anytime soon, but what it will do is provide hours of zombie slaying fun. It also helps that Zombie Army 4 is packed with cool Easter eggs, as well as murderous porcelain dolls. But the Easter egg that I've chosen for this video is a reference to a great TV show. On the Shadows of Venice level, you can find a room with Christmas lights strung up on a wall. On the other side of the room, you can find a message telling you to use your brain. So head back to the lights and do exactly that. So if done correctly, shooting out the light to spell brains will open up a safe with an upside down doll. This is a reference to the Netflix show Stranger Things and the wall of light that Joyce Byers constructs to communicate with her son Will, who is lost in the upside down, a sort of alternate dimension. So let's move forward a month to March and take a look at the Division 2 expansion, Warlords of New York. As you may have already guessed, Warlords of New York takes you back to the setting of the first game to track down a rogue agent. To put it simply, if you liked the Division 2, you'll probably like this. The Easter egg from the expansion that impressed me enough to be featured in this video can be found at the New York waterfront. It's there you can find a sign that says, "When the water fills the lake, shoot for the morning light." That quote is a reference to the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, where you had to shoot the sun with your bow to get the fire arrows. Now, if we were to apply that logic to the Division 2, that would mean shooting the sun with our LMG. Well, here goes. So I probably should have chosen a gun with less recoil, but shooting the rising sun will reward you with 30 incendiary rounds. This is a really cool nod to a classic game. Up next is a contender for my personal game of the year, Doom Eternal. Releasing on the 20th of March, Doom Eternal improved on its predecessor in almost every way. And keeping with tradition, Doom Eternal also had some pretty great Easter eggs. So great in fact that I've included two of them in this video. The first Easter egg can actually be found after completing the game and sitting through the credits. Sorry guys, watching the credits from the main menu won't work. The next Doom Eternal Easter egg is an Easter egg that actually took some time to solve. I know that I personally recorded this one on April the 8th, nearly 3 weeks after the game launched. On the mission Super Gore Nest, you can find 3 balloons which can be destroyed. Don't worry if they don't pop right away, just keep shooting and they will give in eventually. If you shoot all 3 balloons, this will happen. Looking back, March was a packed month. Well, if you were a PS4 owner anyway. On the 31st of March, a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 remaster was released for PS4 owners. It would be released a month later for both Xbox One and PC. The remaster featured a fully remastered campaign, but no multiplayer, which was a shame. Along with all the work that had been put into the visuals and sound, another area that received some much needed attention was the Easter eggs, with this next discovery being a real highlight. On the mission Hornet's Nest, when you're sprinting across rooftops without a weapon, if you press the weapon inspect button, this will happen.
We're running a fume here! You got 30 seconds! Run!
Right, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. When compared to the other Easter eggs in this video, this next Easter egg isn't anything special. But what it referenced is an internet classic, so I felt compelled to include it in this video. April the 3rd saw the release of the Resident Evil 3 remake, and with it the multiplayer add-on Resident Evil Resistance. Resistance sees you take on the role of survivor or mastermind, with survivors having to survive and masterminds trying to stop that happening. Surprisingly enough, it's actually a pretty decent game. Anyway, the Easter egg in the Resistance mode is this.
I calculate your odds of survival at 32.3333%. Repeating, of course.
Why are you doing this to us?
So that quote is a reference to the famous Leroy Jenkins clip from 2005 that is still talked about to this day.
What do you think, Abdul? Can you give me a number crunch real quick?
Yeah, give me a sec. I'm coming up with 32.33, repeating of course, percentage of survival.
Oh, that's a lot better than we usually do.
Alright, chums up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Oh my god, he just ran in.
So I've said before that I love Easter eggs that require multiple steps to complete. You know the ones, turn a valve 4 times, open a door, run around in circles for 10 seconds, then teabag a friend. Those sort of Easter eggs. Well, towards the end of April, DICE released an update that allowed you to unlock a cool new skin for Rey in Star Wars Battlefront 2. Getting the skin wasn't going to be straightforward though. On the Takodana map, you can find a message written in Arabesh, Arabesh being the alphabet used in Star Wars. This message translates into "the pirate is hiding something." It just so happens that in one of the rooms in the castle, you can find a painting of Hondu Anaka, a famous pirate in the Star Wars universe. If you shoot the painting of Hondu, this will happen.
Defend the objective.
So the painting drops a coin. Pick up the coin and head to Slave 1 where you can find 3 interactable buttons. Press them in the order that I do for this to happen.
Guard the objective.
So if done correctly, 3 lights will appear, with the left light blinking 5 times, the middle light not blinking at all, and the right light blinking once. Believe it or not, this is a reference to the 501st Legion, the flag of which can be found back at the castle. So head back to the castle and look for the 501st flag and press the secret button.
We'll fall back and concentrate our defenses in the next sector.
Finally, head downstairs to access a secret room that was previously locked. So in the room you can find a picture of the Battlefront 2 development team, and as mentioned, accessing the room will also grant you the Resilient skin. Though, just a heads up, this Easter egg will need to be completed on a live server. So in a year full of games that have seemingly left me surprised, one game that I had high hopes for and certainly didn't let me down was Maneater. The self-proclaimed shark RPG puts you in control of a bull shark that must eat to survive and to evolve. Of course, if I'm speaking about Maneater in this video, then it must have some pretty great Easter eggs, right? Well, of course, 25 of them in fact, according to the video I made when the game released in late May. But there was one Easter egg that really stood out for me. At this location on the map, you can find this.
Sea sponges' demand for pineapple homes has sparked massive deforestation throughout Costa Rica. But being brainless, sponges rarely weigh the consequences of their buying decisions.
So who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Yep, it's Big Bird from Sesame Street. No, of course not. This is the home of everyone's favourite square pant wearing sponge, SpongeBob SquarePants. So to end today's video, let's say a big well done to Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare has given us 3 of the best Easter eggs of 2020, with all of them being contenders for the outright best. That must be what the 200GB install size is for. The first Modern Warfare Easter egg was first discovered at the end of May with the release of the Isle 9 multiplayer map. On the map you could find and shoot 10 teddy bears, causing this to happen. The next Easter egg was found as recently as June on the trench map. On the map you could find several numbers scattered around the level. These numbers will change every time you load the map up, so your numbers won't be the same as mine. You'll need to make a note of the numbers in the order that I do. After gathering your numbers, shoot them into the keypad at the bunker. So inside the bunker, we can find a group of teddies having what appears to be a very important meeting. That's not the end of the Easter egg though. If you take a look at the red telephones in the bunker, you will see another code written down. Shoot that code into the bunker keypad for this to happen. The final and most recent Easter egg from Modern Warfare can be found on the Cheshire Park map. Around the map you can find 5 mousetraps. If you manage to find and shoot all 5, their spawns are random so they can be really hard to find, a piece of cheese will spawn. Take the piece of cheese and try to find the wheel of cheese. Again, this spawn is random. After reuniting the pieces of cheese, take them to the statue in the middle of the map for this to happen. So that's it, those are my favourite Easter eggs of 2020 so far. Do you think I didn't include an Easter egg that should have been here? Then let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, then a like is really appreciated. If you are a fan of Easter eggs and secrets in games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. If you want to support the channel further, as well as see your name in the credits and get access to videos early, then check the links to my Patreon in the description, or become a YouTube member by clicking the join button. A big thank you to the following patrons and YouTube members: Claire Lawrence, Funky Guy, Old Gen Gamer, Nicholas J, twice, he's backed me on Patreon and on YouTube, so thank you Nicholas, Tremior, DJX Gaming, Kevin Hummett and Taco622. Thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.